morning, everybody, and it is Amazing Friday, and it's the first Friday in December. Can you guys believe that?
It's great.
Crazy.
2021 is almost over.
Thank goodness.
That's a thing, I know. I'm Tanya Maddox, and welcome to Montrose Matters Live. We are so grateful to our underwriters and sponsors. We have Alpine Bank, River Valley Family Health Centers. We have the Real Estate Store and Elevate Fiber. Thank you so much for underwriting Our Town Matters Live. We get to bring you great programming each and every week. And we're going to get into our program. We have Aaron and Anna here, and I'll tell you where they're from later. But before we get to that, there are lots of things happening in Montrose this weekend and in the coming weeks. So guess what's happening tomorrow?
Parade of Lights.
Yes! Okay. Oh, Anna, jazz hands.
I know.
I'm excited.
So that's what we're going to see at the Parade of Lights, too. We see just all of these different floats going up and down Main Street, and then we have the students that are out there playing. You have some of the dancers. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah.
And I think it's going to be warm.
Yeah,
I hope so.
warmer than in past years. We'll just say that.
All right. So one day, next year, I'm going to try and talk Drew into us like doing the show live at the Parade of Lights.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. Drew's like, I can make that
style.
happen. Yes. So the other thing is that we on every Friday you have Montrose Matters Live, but guess what? On Mondays, if you still want to know what is happening in Montrose, you can tune into KREX Channel 5, and they do a Montrose Mondays segment at noon.
Nice.
And
Awesome.
it is. It's pretty awesome. And I have 4 fans now. Like, they invite me to Grand Junction every but anyway, it's a good show. KREX noon every Monday. So this Monday is going to be a good, will be a fun one as well. And then December 8th, that is next Wednesday, it is the annual Community Forecast Breakfast. So we have Dr. Nathan Perry, he's the economist from CMU, who comes in and gives us a review preview of Montrose and Delta County and what we can expect. So he'll look back on 2021, say this is what the economy did, and this is what we can expect in 2022. The other cool thing about that event is the county, Montrose County, will do a State of the County address.
Oh, nice.
So yes, we, I think everybody is looking forward to hearing what's coming up and what we can look forward to in the county. And then the city will do the same thing. So they'll have a State of the City address. And we're going to be all informed going into the new year and right before Christmas. So that is next Wednesday. And did you know that we have a new CEO of the hospital?
I did not.
Yes. So on December 16th at the Power Players luncheon that the Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Montrose Chamber of Commerce puts on, we will have the new CEO speaking and giving us his vision on the hospital. As you may have heard, they also rebranded and renamed themselves. So that is going to be an exciting event that you're going to want to attend. And all of this is happening before Christmas.
That's
packed.
Busy couple weeks.
Yes, it is. All right. So we have Rocky Mountain Physical Therapy Services, and we're going to talk to Aaron and Anna. And I'm going to try not to get into too much trouble. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Employees, and we were in a double wide trailer with 4 exam rooms. So that's where we started, behind an elementary school. Really focused on taking care of those children. It was a school-based clinic prior to us becoming an FQHC. But very quickly, we realized the community needed a lot more support, a lot more access to healthcare. So in the last 8 years, we've grown to 3 different sites. We have 104 employees now, and we're taking care of about 6,600 unique patients a year.
You're proud to call Colorado home. So are we. Since 1973, we've been giving back to the communities where we live, work, and play across our great state. And we're here to stay. If you're looking for an independent, locally managed community bank where the employees are also the owners, we would like to be your bank. We're Alpine Bank.
Okay, we are back. And I'm feeling like I need to sit up straight.
I think that's a good idea.
It's a good choice.
So I'm feeling as if I'm sitting next to someone who is, a physical therapist. And, look at that. You're just proper. Look at you, Aaron. You're just.
I got it back. I'm leaning against
You're
something.
okay.
Yeah.
So is it okay for me to lean against something?
Go for
Is
it.
that
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right. I won't be hunched over after. So tell us honestly. I joke about physical therapy and me having a hunchback because during the commercial break they were telling me there were some things I need to watch out for. But I won't even go there. So tell us, who needs physical therapy?
Well, I'd say anyone who has any sort of decrease in function, right? If there's something that's painful, that's keeping you from your activities, doing laundry, golfing, hiking, anything like that, whether it be low back pain, plantar fasciitis, neck pain, headaches, anything like that, that physical therapy can help.
Really? So what if I don't want to do laundry?
Well, then you better have a good husband at home.
Okay.
Travis is a good man. He'll help you out. Yeah.
Yes, he will. No, okay, so anything that is debilitating to your normal everyday functions, we should probably go see a physical therapist.
Definitely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so what have you seen it where people have waited too long?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
It happens a lot.
Really?
So we hear stories, I mean, and you've experienced this too. You've fallen or you did something where you weekend
Who
warrior.
told you?
Just a good guess, lucky guess. Where you fall, you hurt something, and it gets better in a couple of days or a week, right? And that happens, and it chronically over time, right? We hear it from patients. I usually get better after 2 or 3 days. This time it just didn't. So it's been several months, several weeks. I've been to my doctor. I've gotten injections. I've taken enough Advil. I want to actually do something about it. And biggest thing for me, at least, is prevention. How can we prevent you from doing this again, right? How can we prevent you from falling? How can we do, lifting furniture or whatever you have to do and just do it right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, Aaron, you are the director of physical therapy at Rocky Mountain Physical Therapy Services,
Correct.
which is a mouthful. We should probably say that 3 times. And Anna, who is newly married, by the way, so everybody congratulate Anna online. Stutzman, right? Did I pronounce that correctly?
That's right. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Aaron was making fun of your.
Yep.
He was making fun of your name, your married name. So, Mr. Stutzman, watch out. Aaron called her. What'd you call her?
Fräulein Stutzman. This is German, like Fräulein Stutzman.
Yeah.
Yes. So, you have been working at Rocky Mountain Physical Therapy for how long?
4.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were a student.
I was. So anybody that does physical therapy, physical therapist assistant programs have to do clinical rotations, if you want to call it that, in different settings, outpatient, inpatient, like hospital, that type of stuff. And I just happened to get one with him when I was in school. So I spent a month working under him, learning from him, and that was like the summer before I graduated. So then I graduated that next May, and he had really grown the clinic, and at that time it was only him. He was the only therapist at Rocky Mountain Therapy, and so he needed help. He had really grown it, and he was working a lot of hours, so
wait,
he
that was
hired me.
4 years ago? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So you did a good job in training her and
Well,
giving her some
she was
leadership.
already amazing. No.
Yes.
No, we just
He
got
did
lucky.
do a good job. Yeah.
But you saw value in that time that you spent with
Absolutely.
Aaron,
Oh, yeah.
and that when he was ready to grow the practice, or is it called a practice?
Yeah.
Okay. So when he was ready to grow the practice, you just jumped right in.
Absolutely.
All right.
I think he sent me my contract in March, and I didn't even graduate until May. So we were ready.
I just didn't want to forget. You gotta
Yeah.
lock it up, man.
Oh,
Lock
you
it
do,
up.
and there's this thing called ghosting out there.
There
So
it
he
is.
said,
Yeah, don't do
okay,
that.
yeah, don't do that.
We don't
No.
worry about that anymore.
I know.
No.
Right.
So you two seem to have a really good relationship. Your clients, they are getting help that they need, and you are able to really get them out of this chronic pain that they're in.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, and we love working together because when you come into our clinic, it's one of the two of us that's treating you, right? We aren't one of those huge clinics with 8 therapists, and you never know who you're going to see. It's going to be one of the two of us, and sometimes we even collaborate a treatment. We'll talk about this a little bit later, I think. But if I have a patient that needs dry needling done, I don't do it. Aaron does. So we collaborate a lot on some of our treatments as well. So I just really love we work together well. We get to know everybody at a personal relationship type level, and it's just So obviously, I have stayed for 4.5 years, so I really enjoy it. But it's
I
great.
like you. I like your energy. I do. That is.
you.
Oh my
I like
goodness.
Better than a cup of coffee in the morning.
Yes.
She gets
I didn't
everyone
even
have
have coffee this morning.
Could But it's obvious you love what you do and that you love working together, that you feel as if you're helping your clients.
Yes.
Guys, tell me a success story. Is there, because you have clients who are trying to get rid of a one-time chronic pain issue, and then you have clients who maybe have MS or something that is going to be ongoing. Are there any success stories or anything that when you walked away at the end of the day or the end of the week and you said, wow, we did good work?
Yeah, well, one in particular I'm thinking about right now is this guy. So I love him to death, but he thought physical therapy was a gimmick, basically. So his doctor, like 3 years ago, had told him, for this shoulder, you need to go to physical therapy. And he's like, nah, that's not going to do anything for me. He didn't think it would work. So for 3 years, he dealt with this shoulder pain, had a couple injections, finally was like, I'm so tired of this. I guess I'll try physical therapy. Within a few weeks, he was back to doing pretty much everything that he would want to do with no pain. And he's like, I can't believe I waited 3 years to go to physical therapy. If I would have done this 3 years ago, I could have had a couple of years pain-free, doing my activities. So, yeah.
Oh, that is great. Okay, so I looked away because I was like, I thought it was a hoax too, but okay. I wasn't going to say it out loud.
Yeah.
How is that? Like, if I have a shoulder injury, and I just get back to normal, like once everything starts to grow back and I start doing everything, what is it that physical therapy can do for me that my everyday activities can't?
So typically, Erin would do an evaluation on you, but 9 times out of 10, it comes down to something is too tight or something is too weak. And so the mechanics of your shoulder joint aren't working the way that they're supposed to. And sometimes just doing your normal activities don't strengthen or work the correct muscles, right? Okay. Because some of those ones are like tiny, they're in there and they take very specific little motions to really work on them that you don't necessarily do a whole lot through your daily activities. So, because we have people say that all the time, we usually give our patients a home exercise program that they're supposed to complete at home because you're going to see a lot more progress that way if you are compliant with that versus just coming in once or twice a week to your appointment, right?
Okay.
So we send them home with this, and then we'll ask them, are you doing your exercises at home? Oh yeah, I vacuumed. Like, is that on your program? Like, no, but isn't that exercising? Well, yes, but the ones that we give you are very specific to what's going on for your shoulder, and just general activities a lot of times aren't enough.
Okay. So I probably wouldn't be a good client because I would have to do
your
homework.
You would be a great client. No, people,
Yes.
I think accountability makes people do it more often. And I tell people this all the time. Prevention, what do they say? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yes.
Right? Yep. So doing your things at home is going to be great, right? And so if you do that and you do it consistently, that will prevent injury. But so people with an ankle injury, you tear a ligament, you sprain something, right, or tear a muscle, I mean, you're going to be at risk for tearing that later on in life. So consistency, even after you're out of therapy, is going to be key, right? I tell people, when you go to the dentist and you don't have cavities, do you stop brushing your teeth? No. You brush every day, a couple times a day, hopefully, and then you floss.
Yeah, I have an 8-year-old who pushed that one to the limit, but okay.
I always do. So don't wait till you get injured to come to therapy or do exercise. Exercising just in general is going to be good for the body and for the joints. But,
well, and one of the reasons why we wanted to, we scheduled you guys on the show this time of year is also because you work with insurance, and this might be a time where it could be important to get your deductibles out of the way, or?
Yeah, I mean, some people have, private insurance is pretty expensive.
No.
Well, that's what I've been told. Yeah. But if you have a big deductible, I mean, some people have, $2,000 or $6,000 deductible. So if you've met your deductible, typically, your physical therapy is either free or very small copay, and everything doesn't go towards your deductible. Medicare benefits expire at the end of the year, so we have a lot of people who are on Medicare come in to try and use those benefits before they expire. So that's a big deal, yeah.
And especially if they're trying to get back into the gym at the beginning of the year, because, January 1, everyone has those resolutions, right?
Yep.
You got to play pickleball. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the big one with the Medicare population.
Oh, really?
Pickleball is huge.
I've got to try that. I hear it.
All the rage, I guess.
Really? I was a tennis player back in the day.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, I know. Hard to believe, but, I was there. So, you guys, I'm going to take a commercial break in a minute, but before we do that, there are some very strange words that I saw on your website.
Okay.
Cupping, dry needling. What are these things?
Go ahead with cupping. I'll talk
Cupping,
about
yes. So I love cupping. I love utilizing it. There's a few different ways that we can do it, but I'll just talk about the 2, 3 major ones that I use it for. So the idea behind it is you take a suction cup and you stick it on the tissue, and it increases the blood flow, okay? So it honestly, it looks like you've gotten a giant hickey, is what it looks like.
So yeah, you had me on you stick it on the tissue.
Yeah.
Where is this going on?
So it depends. So a lot of times I use it for muscle tension. That's one of the first ways that I use it for. So neck, shoulder areas, like a lot of people end up like this. They're hunched over a desk, phones, whatever, and build up a lot of tension, okay?
I'm working on my posture.
You just got back.
I know. So we'll use it to decrease muscle tension. I have used it on scar tissue. People come in with this big, surgical scar on their knee from their knee replacement, and it's, divoted in or something, and it's really tight. We can use it to kind of pull apart the adhesions there. And then I've actually also used it for some like lymphedema type treatment. So doing a real light suction and then moving it to try to drag some of that excess fluid back towards
you said
your lymph nodes.
lymphodemas?
Yeah, lymphedema.
Lymphedema.
Or swelling issues. We'll say swelling issues.
Just so you know, I look smarter than I really am. All right.
So yeah, it increases the blood flow, brings new nutrients, oxygen to the area to help promote healing and that relaxation if it's extra tight, and then just pulls on scar tissue, and then so.
And how is it pulled out?
So it kind of depends. There's a few different ways. What I usually use is just a plastic cup, and it has like excuse me, this little like gun thing that you suction out the top with, but also there's fire cupping that actually uses a flame to suck out all the oxygen, and then you put it on the skin really quickly and it'll suck it up into it. Or I have the ones that I use for like the mobile massage cupping are silicone, so that they're a little bit more, and you kind of just squeeze them and then put it back on the skin. Okay. Yeah.
I'm afraid and intrigued at the same time. I don't even know what to tell you.
It's not that
We'll
bad.
give you a
It's
free
not
one.
that bad. Yeah, you'll have to come check it out.
And how long before the tension is relieved?
So it totally depends on the person, but a lot of times people will feel like when we take it off, because if I'm doing it for tension, I'll leave the cups on there for a few minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes typically. And then when I release them, people are like, oh man.
So wow.
But it totally depends on the person, how long they've had the tension, how well their body responds to it, how well they're able to relax during the treatment, because sometimes you get something on you that's a little bit tight and uncomfortable, and your whole body's kind of like, oh my gosh. And so sometimes it's not as effective that way either. So it kind of depends, but a lot of people feel it right away.
Anna, you made the entire production area squirm. They're back there, the cameras are moving, and they're like, I'm
Wait
sitting
till he
up
talks
straight
about
now.
his thing.
See, yep, Drew's got it. We're gonna talk about. My brain can't even comprehend the needling now. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
At the Real Estate Store, we're a group of real estate professionals who share all forms of property brokering in an innovative way. Our expertise and experience makes us the best choice for buyers and sellers. Our brokers are ready to assist you, either in person or virtually. Come visit us in historic downtown Montrose and experience for yourself the difference of our personal, professional property brokers.
Believe it, just like Gigfoot, Zero Lag Gaming does exist. The real myth now? Slow internet made you lose. So step up your game with Elevate Internet today.
Okay, we're back. You know what? I just realized this was sitting on the table here. And thank you so much for the gift.
You're welcome.
The only thing you forgot to put in here?
What?
Cheese balls. Just saying.
Next one, you're hitting.
No, this is exciting. What's in here?
Just a few little treats from us. We've got some chapstick,
Oh.
lotion, looks like a pen, some dog treats for Cooper,
Oh.
right?
I have a dog named Okay, Cooper, you're going to get this when you get home.
Yeah.
And this is pretty awesome.
So we do actually, we have people that bring their service dogs or well-behaved dogs in with them, and so
Very
we
nice.
keep treats around because they love it. In fact, we had one patient that would always bring her dog, and she'd come right in towards our receptionist
And get a
sit
treat.
there, wait
Wait
for
for the
his
treat.
treat. Yep.
Well, you guys really know how to please. So We've been talking to Aaron and Anna about Rocky Mountain Therapy Services, and I have learned to sit up straighter because I don't want to be hunched back later on. But we were talking about the importance of physical therapy, not waiting until you truly need it, staying on top of that, and then you have some really unique additional services. So let's talk about needling.
Okay, so dry needling is used for muscle tension.
It's called dry needling, okay.
Yeah, so dry needling meaning it's a monofilament, it's a solid needle, right? It's not like the big wet needles that you get injections or vaccines with, right? So it's a little bit smaller, and there's different diameters based on the tissue you're going into. So we use it a lot, and we found it to be very effective for tension headaches, neck pain, or people who, sitting and typing like this where they're activating these muscles for long periods of time. We stick the needles in there into the muscle bellies themselves, and sometimes you'll get like a little muscle twitch or response. Kind of like when, the doctor hits your knee and your knee kicks out, it's inhibiting or doing that same sort of response there too.
Wait, okay, Aaron, slow down, because I'm starting to get a visual here.
Okay.
So you said for tension headaches, right? You're going to stick a needle in my forehead?
Not the forehead. Okay. So typically,
that's a good question.
So dry needling, cupping, all of it's part of a plan, right? It's not just, don't come in for just dry needling, it's dry needling. We do some myofascial or soft tissue work, some stretching, exercise, patient education, kind of like what we talked about with posture and stuff. So typically for the necks, right, we'll lay them flat on their stomachs, right? And so their head or back of their neck is exposed. We'll put on the base of the skull. There's a few muscles that attach there. Most of your motion happens in the first two segments of your neck. Okay. So we put them in there, and they're called trigger points, right? Where the muscles or the muscle bellies are bound up. We stick them in there, and that gets the muscle to relax. We'll leave it in there for typically 3 to 5 minutes, and then pull it out. We will usually do some more stretching or maybe some more massage until the patient go home, put some ice or heat on it, and do some more stretches too. So help alleviate that muscle tension, the headaches. And that can be in the neck, the shoulder. We do a lot in the low back.
Because the tension headaches start in the back. Is that the reason? Because I'm thinking headache up here. You're going to put needles in my head.
Yeah, no, tension headaches are typically in the back, and a lot of times it's due to bad posture again too, right?
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
This type of posture, this forward head stuff, just tightens everything up back here. So you'll sometimes you'll feel tension headaches here, but a lot of times it starts here, and then you kind of get that almost like ram's horn type feeling where it does come up over the top of your head into your forehead. But a lot of times the culprit is back here.
Back there. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk to our producer because I think our setup needs to be a little different. But no, with that said, so you have all of these different options that you use on one client, and then you send them on their way, right? Mm-hmm. And they're healed, right?
Hopefully not. I mean, we want them to get better. We want them to be healed. But, again, for me, it's always about accountability. And we tell them, and we stress this, we give them a home exercise program to do every day to stretch. And hopefully they're doing it, and just usually it's a progress, or it's a progression of slowly getting better over time.
Yeah, it is. And that's something actually we should bring up. Physical therapy is not like a one visit, you're all fixed type of thing. And sometimes we do get that, like, why aren't I better? I came to one physical therapy visit. No, it's typically, we often set up your first plan of care. I mean, there's some, oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Some exceptions to the rule. But we start typically with like twice a week for 4 weeks. So you start with like committing to a month of physical therapy and twice a week. And that's how you really start to feel progress usually, is when you're committed to doing your home exercises, coming in consistently and starting with like a month. And then we reassess and decide if we need more or whatever. But it's not usually just like a one visit and I'm fixed type of thing.
Well, you know what? Darn.
I know, I wish.
I buy my Slim Fast shakes, and I think that I drink one in the morning, and a week later, I'm going to be 20 pounds lighter.
That is a great analogy. I'm going to steal that. Is that okay?
Yes, you can.
The toothbrush one is getting old.
Yeah, just a little.
I need new material.
Yeah, I'm like, why isn't this working? So, but what I was really wanting to get at, I was feeding you a question, sorry. Anna, and
I took us a little side.
You missed that one.
I'm sorry.
So, but what I did learn during the commercial breaks is there are folks who have chronic illnesses that you work with long term.
Yep.
Tell us about MS clients. Is that a...
Well, I mean, there's several different kinds of MS. I mean, some that are just a slow progression, some are progressive remitting. And so sometimes when they have that, where you get that MS bout, they come in here and we do some exercises with them, stretches. We go over everything if they've been to our clinic in the past. We review things with them and just change them and see how they're doing. But with most issues, whether it be MS or arthritis or some sort of arthritic condition,
think about that. Yeah,
it's a management issue, right? How can we best manage your symptoms so you can do what you want to do?
Right.
I mean, obviously you're not going to be playing flag football when you're 80, but what is an activity appropriate for an 80-year-old to do? And we want to get you back to doing that.
Okay.
So yeah, management.
Or even just household activities. What back to function. What are you struggling with function-wise,
Right.
and how can we make that possible for you?
Yeah, so because when my husband is 80, I really want Travis to get on the roof and put Christmas lights out. So,
doable.
let's just keep moving, right?
Yeah, yes, of course.
Motion is lotion.
I love it.
Favorite saying.
So, tell me, what have I not been? I'm so excited about Rocky Mountain Therapy Services for a couple of reasons. One, you guys just seem to be the nicest people, truly. But I've heard a few things. You live here, you guys work here. You see your clients out and about. You were telling a story about being at the gym, and you're like, oh, they're doing the moves we taught them.
Yeah, I do see it quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
great.
I go to the rec center, and there's a
Yay,
lot of.
we love the rec center.
We do. There's a lot of older population that's there in the mornings and stuff. So when I go there, I see a lot of people playing pickleball, walking, running, working out, and that just, and just for me, like, I can't imagine being at home, hurting all the time and stuff. So when I see patients that, I see them and they came into the clinic limping and in pain, grumpy, and then 3 months later they're out at the rec center hiking, and you see them happy and smiling, doing what they want to do. I mean, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Good. So, Aaron, what made you start your practice here? You're not originally from Montrose, are you?
No, I moved here May of 2011.
Okay.
I graduated from the University of St. Augustine. Like Anna was saying, she did her internship with us. I did my internship with Rocky Mountain Therapy up in Utah.
Oh, okay.
And they had clinics all over the West, but I like the one here because I like the small town, I like the mountains, I like the hiking and stuff, so.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I love Montrose too, so we're glad that you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
And what about you, Miss Anna? You're recently married.
Yes.
Are you from Montrose?
I am actually born
No.
and raised. Yep. Yeah, whole life.
Oh,
I
my.
left for a couple of years for school, but then I came right back after I graduated since he hired me. But yeah, born here, raised here.
I love it. All right, Montrose. Anna is the epitome of why we need to continue to just try and attract young people here so that they stay here, get married, raise a family. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Now tell me, I know that there's got to be one thing I was not smart enough to ask you that I should have.
I don't know, Tanya, you are brilliant. You are brilliant.
Drew, he's reading those cue cards correctly. Thank you.
He's trying to get back on the show.
I don't know. He's
Invite
gonna be,
back.
Him and Bud are going to be bucking for co-host here. So,
Well,
Bud
no.
Taylor, love you.
I think too, like we talked about, if there is some sort of issue that people who are watching or our patients are having, come in and see what we can do. We want to give you a very specific home exercise program, designate a plan of care for you to take home. We just want you to get back to doing what you love.
Yeah, I've met a lot of people out in the community that just think that their pain is normal. Pain is just like comes with age, and that's not necessarily true. It might be to an extent, but if you've got pain and you've never tried to do anything about it, come see us.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Rocky Mountain Therapy Services. Make it a wonderful Friday in Montrose, and don't forget to go see the Parade of Lights.